Hello YouTube, this is Asatsu 5. Got several videos planned but not able to execute at the moment. But I thought I'd give this short video, just throw this out there because it's something I've been thinking about for quite a while. There was a knife company, a new knife company called Jack Wolf Knives, I believe is the name of it. It's on Instagram. They make modern slip joints that are the classic patterns like the Barlow or the sway back or the coffin handle, and I was really interested in them when they first kind of came on the scene. It's a really new company, but I came to an interesting conclusion. I've got my Grail slip joint, and not only that, I got two other slip joints that I also really love. I want to start off with those and talk about them. But probably the one that should be on everybody's list to get at some point, if you're new to the knife world, is a Victorinox Cadet. And this is my Hitch and Timber wallet. And the Cadet is just a really simple EDC slip joint. And with this Hitch and Timber wallet, you can have an EDC knife on you. This happens occasionally. I'll leave the house without a knife. I'll be in a super hurry, and I usually keep a spare knife in my EDC bag or my camera bag. Usually if I have an EDC bag or a camera bag, it has a knife in it. But for whatever reason, if I forget to put on a knife with this wallet, I have a knife with me. It's not a tactical knife, but it will get the job done. It'll do everything I need it to do 99% of the time, as long as that job isn't self-defense. But let's face it, you're not really going to get in a knife fight on any regular basis or most likely at all. So all you really need is an EDC knife to get you through the day. So this is probably where everybody should start when it comes to slip joints, is Victorinox. Wenger is no longer with us. I think Victorinox has one Wenger knife that they keep in production. It's like the classic, but it's a Wenger. And Wenger used to be the sister company of Victorinox and was once a rival to Victorinox. It's interesting because they both came out with their knife within a few years of each other, and they went to court. And the Swiss court system said Victorinox has the right to use the original Swiss Army knife in their advertising, and Wenger has the right to use genuine Swiss Army knife. And then Victorinox bought Wenger, and then Wenger was dissolved. And I think there was one knife that Victorinox produces that has the Wenger shield on it, and it has the Wenger name on it, I think. But I think everybody should have a Victorinox Cadet, especially if you're going to just keep it in a EDC bag or just use it as a backup. It's not super awesome as far as blade steel, but it's a very practical knife, and it'll do just about everything you need it to do, especially in an office setting. Moving on up, this is not a Grail slip joint to me, but it's often considered a luxury slip joint. It's still rather affordable for a slip joint, or for a luxury slip joint. Slip joints definitely get a lot more expensive, but this is a GEC Coke bottle or coffin, or I forget what GEC calls it. GEC has their own designation for it. I forget what it is, but this pattern is called a coffin handle or a Coke bottle. It's pretty much America's oldest folding hunting knife. And this particular pattern is said to be a favorite of General Custard. It kind of gives you an idea of how old it is. It was advertised to be General Custard's favorite knife. And this is a TD-Ute variant of GEC. I forced a patina on it. And what's pretty cool about this one is that you can open it one hand. And that is both a selling point of luxury and, in my brother's opinion, its best and worst feature. It has an extended nail nick here, but this back spring is so smooth and so light that you can open it one-handed. so never mind the dog. But anyways, I love this knife, 1095 steel. I usually force patinas on my carbon steel blades. I don't. It's so luxurious feeling as far as the back spring, and I love the color. The color on the jig bone just screams October to me. October, November. It just seems like a fall knife. And that's the other reason why I like it, is for its coloration. And GEC knives usually hold their value. I don't know how much this one's going to hold its value because I forced a patina on it, and it was a CCC. That I can't remember what that stands for, but it's kind of like a small production of that particular model. And I pretty much, patina over that logo. But cool knife. I really enjoy it. And it's one of my favorite EDC slip joints, but this is not my Grail slip joint, and so I find myself not carrying it as often when I do carry a slip joint. Usually I carry a Victorinox if I have my hitch and timber on me, and maybe if I'm at work and it's like the fall time period, I'll carry this, but this is my Grail slip joint. And this is a Fatini Patude, and it's a Capachet French pocket knife. The Capachet is a traditional Occitan or French knife, and this is a modern rendition of it. And it was a shepherd's knife basically, and you see that this has a nice snap to it. Has a mirror polish on it. I need to wipe the fingerprints off. Has a nice acute point, and has ram's horn on it, and it has guilloche or firework, and an emerald in the lamouche, which is that technical term for the fly. In this case, it's not a bee; it's a shamrock. But and the shamrock is jeweled in itself. I don't know if you can pick up that detail, but the shamrock is jeweled as well. Focus. Oh, hit the screen. I guess it won't focus at that distance. But it's a beautiful knife. Has the firework. Has the it's mirror polished. Even has firework on the inside of the handle. It's a nice size. It's a pretty large slip joint alongside with the GEC. They're both relatively large. And I love this knife. It was shown to me from a European knife reviewer or collector. He just does show-off videos. I don't know if you can call them reviews, but he never has anything negative to say about his knives. But like when he first showed this, I was like, that's a cool knife. And then I was talking to my sister-in-law about this book I read by Victor Hugo called The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And the gypsy has a goat named Jolly, and her name is Esmeralda, which is Spanish for emerald. So I base this knife loosely on Esmeralda. So you have the emerald for Esmeralda, you have ram's horn, which is not a goat, but it's close as I could get to goat antler with this company, or goat horn. And so I just kind of modeled it after Esmeralda and Jolly. And it has a very ergonomic handle. It kind of reminisces a shepherd's staff. It fits real good. And I just love this knife. This is my Grail slip joint, and I've been wanting it for years. I've already made a video on it. But this was just on my list for a long time. And I finally, after reading Victor Hugo's book and talking to my sister-in-law, I was like, I got to have this knife. This knife was upwards of $400. It's the most expensive slip joint I ever bought. Not the most expensive photo I've ever bought, but it's just it's nice. It's very nice. Made in France, handmade in France, and after getting this knife, I just can't see myself enjoying a other slip joint. You know, I still like my GEC and Venturinox. The Venturinox is more of a backup knife. But if I'm going to carry a slip joint, let's just say, in general, when I carry a slip joint, it's in the fall, winter time period, so I have more pockets. I can carry a slip joint and a tactical knife. And, you know, also if I carry a slip joint, it might be a special occasion. So if it's a special occasion, of course, you're going to get the really fancy one. I also have I don't know where it's at the time, I have a La Guille en un bloc, which is another French knife. And what's cool about it is that it has juniper wood handles, and juniper wood smells a lot like black pepper. So this knife, you can actually smell, and it smells like black pepper. And that's really cool. Generally, I use slip joint knives also as a picnic knife, or, you know, if we're having a Christmas party and they're cooking steaks for the employees, I'll have a slip joint knife to eat with. There's another slip joint knife that I like, made by Herbertus. It's a hobo knife or a picnic knife. But, you know, the Herbertus is pretty much, blade quality wise, a little bit worse than a Venturinox, as far as, you know, the Venturinox is going to have a lot cleaner grinds and blade shapes, but the steel is pretty much on par with Herbertus. But Herbertus has the very red stag antlers. They have the antlers I just love, the antler stag handles. But I don't really use them that much unless it's a picnic situation. But if I'm going to use a slip joint as a EDC knife, and man, this black shirt is making me look fat. But if I'm going to enjoy a slip joint as a EDC knife, something that I'm going to carry with me and use, this is my favorite. And I just can't envision myself enjoying another slip joint like a Jack Wolf slip joint, which is, they look cool, premium materials, but I just can't envision myself enjoying it as much as I enjoyed that Fatini Patu Cappuccino. And it seems like that's how you can tell that you got an actual Grell knife, is that it just, you know, it's a showstopper for you. So that's it. I'm a Satsu 5, and I'm out.